Hi, welcome to Chris Cook for YouTube. Today we're going to be doing giblet gravy. Happy holidays to everybody. So let's get started. First, when you get your turkey, this is going to be inside of the neck of the turkey, or it's going to be inside of the butt portion of the turkey. This is a plastic bag, and inside of this, it will hold your heart, your gizzard, your liver, and your neck. So make certain that you get this out, because this is what you will need. And sometimes it'll be in a little plastic bag or a clear bag, but it will be in a bag inside of the turkey. Now, if you're using a name brand turkey, you will also get your instructions on how to bake your turkey. That will be listed inside of a little cellophane type paper so it does not get wet. Follow the package instructions. These people sell turkeys for a living. They want you to come back next year, so they're going to make certain that they give you the precise time that you need to cook that turkey, when it's going to be done and juicy. Now, if you don't have this inside of your turkey, this will be on the outer plastic bag that your turkey is actually covered in. So make certain that you don't throw it away before you read the package instructions. Now, having said that, this is what you're going to need in order to make your giblet gravy. And you're going to start off by cooking these parts. And what you're going to do is to use all that you don't use for your giblet gravy, you're going to use for your stuffing when it comes to, you're going to make stock out of it to use in your stuffing. Now, you're going to need, of course, it comes with the liver. And I don't like a lot of liver in my stock or in my giblet gravy, so I'm just going to use half of the liver. I'll put it in the pot. It's going to come with your heart. You don't have to take this off, but I do, so I'll put that in the pot. It's going to come with your gizzard. That's what your gizzard looks like. Put that in the pot. And mine didn't come with a neck, and sometimes it doesn't come with a neck. So I had to do surgery on my turkey, and I had to cut out a portion of the neck. If it doesn't come with a neck, that's not a problem. That just means that you won't have this meat, but you'll have all the other meat, so you will be fine. So it comes with the neck. Then you're going to need to add your onions. This is 1/4 onion that I'm putting in the pot. And you're going to need to add your celery. This is 1 stalk of celery that I am also putting in the pot. And I rough cut mine. And the reason why I rough chopped it is because I'm not going to use it in my actual giblet gravy. Now, you can do that. You can do it. You can chop this up a little bit finer. And if you chop it up real small, then you can use it in your giblet gravy. But I'm only going to be using my turkey parts. So that's why I did not chop mine up rough chopping. Now you're going to cook this for about 2 hours. And you're going to boil it on your stove. Now I did take off. This is not necessary to do. Because I didn't have much of a neck, I had to create a neck by cutting down into the turkey a little bit. I took off the wing parts of my turkey. And I'm going to use that because the outer skin makes some good, very good stock. So I'm going to use both of the wing clips over into my stock in order to make my stock just a little bit richer in flavor. Like I said, you don't need to do that. Okay? You can just go with the pieces that you have. Then I'm going to add to that 1/4 teaspoon of salt, maybe a little bit more. And I'm going to add 1/4 teaspoon of poultry seasoning. Okay? That's all you really need to add. If you want to add some garlic to this, or you want to add some onion powder, go ahead and do it, because onion powder and garlic is a soul food cook or a southern cook or an old school cook's best friend. And you'll always find onion and garlic powder in their kitchen. So I'm going to go ahead and fill this pot with water. I'm going to cover these parts. I'm going to allow this to slow cook for maybe about 2 hours. When it gets through slow cooking and these parts are done, I'll bring you right back and we'll put together this giblet gravy. Be right back. Okay, now I'm back, and my neck, gizzard, heart, and liver is done. Now I want you to look in this pot. This is the broth that came from that. Okay, and it's a little dark because we use the poultry seasoning over in here. And of course I have those 2 little wing tips that was in here to give it some extra added flavor. Now use this broth. Don't throw it away. Use it in your dressing. Okay, so go ahead and keep it. Now, you want to chop this up as fine as you possibly can get it. But I'm not going to chop mine because I have my... Now, you want it real fine. Let me just show you. If you're going to chop it by hand, then I'm going to just show you what your pieces should actually look like. Because your pieces should be real fine. Okay? Because you want to taste a hint of it inside of your giblet gravy. Okay? So that's chopped up real fine. But I'm not going to use my hands to chop it. I'm going to put it in my food processor. So if you have a little food processor like this, then you want to go ahead and use it. Now, you can't put the bones in there. This has no bones in it. Your heart, your liver, and your gizzard, it has no bones in it. But your turkey neck does. So you want to strip that meat. Take a fork and just get that meat off. Any kind of fat like that, you don't want to use it. But all of the meat that's on your turkey neck, you want to go ahead and get that meat off. And then you want to chop that meat up as well. So I'm going to go away. I'm going to get all of this chopped up, put it in a bowl. I'm going to meet you at the stove so we can finish out this giblet gravy. I'll be right back. Okay, now I have my vent on, so I hope you can hear me. Now, whenever you're making, now you're going to make a roux. When you're making a roux, that's going to be 2 parts of butter or oil. In this case, we're using butter, and it's going to be 2 parts, so it's equal parts of butter and flour. So if I have 2 tablespoons of butter, then I'm going to add to that 2 tablespoons of flour, and I'm just going to mix this up. Now what you're doing right now is you're cooking that flour. This is a quick process. All you want to do is just cook your flour. I'm going to add just a little bit of salt into this. And I'm going to put a smidgen of the poultry seasoning. Now you don't have to put the poultry seasoning because you're going to have that. That's just a little bit inside of your stock. But you do need to put some salt in that. Okay. Now all I want to do is to cook my flour. That's all I want to do now. That's equal parts of butter and flour. So if you're using, if you're using 3, tablespoons of butter, then you're going to use 3 tablespoons of flour. Using 4 tablespoons of butter, then you're going to use 4 tablespoons of flour. But you don't need that much. Okay, so 2 tablespoons of butter mixed with 2 tablespoons of flour will be enough, and all you're doing is making like a roux paste. Just long enough to cook that flour. Turn up my stove just a little bit. Okay, now you see you're getting that bubble type in it. That's just helping to cook that flour. That's all you're going to do. Now it only takes like a couple of minutes for this flour to cook. And you're going to get a little bit of a brown, but it's not a biggie. Okay, now once you get your flour cooked, and I want to show you this before I add anything. These are my giblets. See, I put mine in the food processor. If you're going to cut yours by hand, that's fine. Just go ahead and cut it by hand so you can put it in this. Now, once you get this done, and you see it turn just a little bit brown. See? And that's not a lot. That's a little, but you only want 1 cup or 1 gravy bowl full of gravy. That's all you need. But here you're going to get probably about 2 gravy bowls full, because you're going to add the giblets to that, and that's going to take it up. So there is my roux. Now to my roux, I'm going to add some of this stock. I didn't strain it, but I didn't need to. I'm not going to catch any of those vegetables. You're going to start to add your stock. Now I'm going to add about 1.5 cups of stock. Okay. And you're going to let this reduce down. And the way it reduces down is by boiling. That's about 1.5 cups of stock. Okay. Now I'm going to let this thicken just a little bit. You don't want it too thick. Okay. Now look at it. Okay. Some people will stop it right there. When you start to get that little bitty light bubble, so you can see where it's thickening up. Some people will stop it right there. I'm going to take it just a little bit further. Now while I'm taking that down, I want to go ahead and add in my giblets. This is a little bit of my liver, my heart, my gizzards, and some of my liver, my heart, my gizzard, and my neck. Okay, now to give it a smoothness, you can stop it right here and this will be fine. See it? That's fine. But to give it some of its smoothness, carnation milk. That's about 2 tablespoonfuls, because that velvetizes. That makes it real creamy. That's real creamy. Now, if you need a larger amount of gravy, go ahead and make it. Just remember, you make equal parts of your flour and your butter. Okay, now once this cools, I'm going to put it in a container, airtight. I'm going to sit it in my refrigerator, and I'm going to wait for Thanksgiving. Now, you know that today is Monday, so I'm making it 3 days out. Cut my stove off. Look at that. See how that is? That's the way you want it. Let's see if I can get a spoon here. You can taste it. See? That's the way you want it. Now you can taste it to make certain that you have enough of your seasonings in it. But that's your giblet gravy. Now, because I'm having mine for the holiday, I'm going to go ahead, because I'm going to heat this up. So what I'm going to do, this is ready. If you're doing it the day of, this is ready. This is how it should be. But I'm doing it 3 days out. So I'm putting just a little more stock in here. And this is turkey stock, and it's going to give you your flavor that you need. Why am I putting a little bit more stock in there? Because I'm getting ready to refrigerate this. Once it cools, I'm going to refrigerate it until the holidays. So when I take it out to heat it up, then I have enough. I don't have to add any water, because I have enough of everything that I need in here. Now, if you want it thinner, you can make it thinner by adding your stock. But I wouldn't take it any thinner than that. There you have it. Chris just made that giblet gravy. And it's got your little parts in it. That's going to go good over your dressing and over your turkey, if that's what you choose for it to go over. But that's the way you make it. And I know that it's on point. Okay, that's my final recipe before the holiday, giblet gravy. I hope that all of you all will have a happy Thanksgiving. And as always, thank you for watching. Chris Cook for you too. Bye.